obviously Saturday's senior day. Have you made your decision on if you plan on walking on, and recognizing your time here, or is that a decision you haven't made yet?
Yeah, I talked to Coach. I'm not going to walk. That's more so just because not all my family can be there. Doesn't mean anything for future decisions. If I were going to do that, I would want all my family to be there, not just a few members. So that's really the only reason.
Have you had any talks with Coach Narduzzi about your future here, about maybe coming back next year, or is that something you guys table for after the season?
Yeah, we gloss over it, really just the decision-making process, but we got 2 more games. We're focused on that, but really just organizing the types of things that I need to know or information that I need to get to make a decision.
Kedon, you connected more on your deep balls with guys. You got hit Bub this past game. You've been making those connections. What's led to some of that downfield success that you guys have been looking for?
That's a good question. I think just executing really, getting those opportunities, and we called them a lot too. So I think there's still more on the field. There's still more for us to hit, but it's definitely a good start.
How would you describe what your year's been like here?
It's been good. Learned a lot. I feel like I've grown a lot as a player. Obviously, we've hit some adversity and some, I've had a lot of growth as a team in the new offense, but proud of the way the guys handled it, and I think you're going to see us moving forward, getting better each and every week.
Have you been frustrated at times?
Yeah. I think there's not a football season anyone's been a part of that they haven't been frustrated with things or execution or whatnot. So I think that's there, but that's there in every season I probably ever played, and I think every player's probably had that at points too.
How the lingering effects from the Tennessee game? How long did they last?
From injury?
Yeah.
I think more so just in terms of the way we were. I know like Rhode Island afterwards talked about protecting me and making sure I was healthy week going forward. So I think more so, less so like injury wise. I think more so just getting the rhythm back into you. It felt like it took a few weeks definitely for us to get back in sync offensively for sure.
But you felt okay when you got back?
Yeah, I felt fine physically, yeah.
Did you feel okay mentally? I mean, was there part of you that was still kind of a little shaken up from that big hit you took, or those games back, or you just kind of
looking back now? Yeah, sorry. Looking back now, I don't think. I think I was fine mentally. I think again the mental stuff wasn't necessarily from the injury, more so just finding a rhythm offensively, passing wise. When you're a quarterback and you don't have completions, you don't have the success you have initially, you kind of trying to find it. I feel like it took us a while to find it, I guess, to answer your question, if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. And so did you have some, confidence issues, I guess, when you're not finding that rhythm? Did that hurt your confidence at some points in this season where you're kind of frustrated with how things are going and maybe you're questioning some decisions you're making?
No, I wouldn't say it's a confidence thing. I'd say it's more so just developing a flow offensively. Because, the first play sets up the next, and, when you kind of have success on first down, it leads to second down. So I think just a flow in terms of our offense and how we're calling it and how we're executing things.
Kedon, how difficult is it to come in? It's one thing to join a program that's got an established offensive identity, but you were coming in with a guy that was, totally new. I mean, how difficult has that been? And do you think maybe that, as you pick momentum up here later in the year is sort of just evidence that, man, it is tough to be not only just a first-year starter, but with a first-year offensive coordinator?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously you're learning it, but everyone else is learning it. They're running routes a way they've probably never done it before. They're learning it. They're adjusting. They're getting better, and you see them getting better week in, week out. It's a big process for everyone. And for me, obviously, I haven't played an offense like this. I haven't played in this offense either. So there's a big learning curve for everyone, I think. So definitely, it's definitely probably more challenging than if everyone kind of knows and one guy's learning, it's definitely probably easier. But it's also good to kind of learn it all together. I feel like I'm not behind in a way too.
That being said, I mean, a second year in this offense I would imagine things would become easier when you're weighing your whatever decision you're going to make. How much of that, the opportunity to come back and then maybe hopefully knowing that some of these guys, maybe Gavin, some of those guys are going to be around to, that you could be maybe more productive offensively.
Yeah, I think that's a big point that we kind of talked about was year 2 in an offense, more and more comfortable with it. I think in any offense, more and more reps. You see it now. We're this is week 11, so week 11 the offense I think is a lot better than where we were at the beginning of the year in fall camp. So I think that's something that's kind of proven time and time again that more confidence, more reps in the system, the better you're going to be.
Did Pat mention Nate Peterman to you in your discussion?
No, he didn't mention Nate specifically. No.
Well, I mean, Nate's second year was 16, and that was obviously that sort of helped him become an NFL quarterback.
Right.
I just didn't know if Pat had brought that up.
No,
I'll
he
bring it
didn't.
up for Pat.
Okay, I'll mention it to him too.
When you're weighing your options for next year, do you take into account, what your offensive teammates might be doing if some of them are looking to maybe go on to the next level or just not playing football or transferring? Do you consider what, guys like Izzy or Jared or Gavin or your offensive linemen might be doing next year?
Yeah, it's a big part of it. Again, that's kind of part of the decision-making process. But again, you're not going to know what everyone's doing until the end of the season, so that's kind of one of those things. Kind of told Coach, I'm not sure yet. He's not sure yet either what people have to say in the information. So we'll get it when we go and make a decision at the end of the year.
What's Frank like coming off the field, good play, bad play, when you're getting assessments from him and he's in the booth and he's giving you his feedback? What's he like when he's like helping you make adjustments or saying like, hey, you're seeing this, do this? What's he like as a coach in those moments?
He's good. He's very informative. I usually talk to the analyst, John, a good amount too, more so on the phone because it's not connected to the headset. So I'd say that's more of the conversation. Just talking me through what we're going to do next drive, or what I saw the previous drive, really.
And then what's Frank like when you after a game? Now that you guys, have had time to like go through film, cut things up. Is he more combative and challenging, or is he more like, hey, let's more like supportive and I guess like uplifting in those situations?
I guess a mix of both. I think he just loves teaching football. We talk the play through and through. We talk about the look we got, what you'd see to make you go elsewhere. I think we really just talk through the whole play, and he's hard on you. He's a challenging coach. He challenges you to be better every day.
Does he give you? Does he give you room to like push back whenever you guys are talking about something, or like hey, I thought I saw this, or I think we could do this, we can do this kind of stuff? Do you kind of have that kind of space with him?
Yeah, there's always back and forth. He kind of asks you every play, what'd you see? What'd you see here? And then he goes forward. But again, he has a lot of knowledge, and there's a lot to learn from a guy like that.
At what point this season did you say to yourself, now I get what Signetti's teaching me?
Yeah, I think certain plays you're more comfortable than others. So I think certain plays at the end of spring camp, you're like, I get this play. I think there's other plays too that maybe we installed on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that you think you might understand as well throughout the game. And I think so. There's some of that, some stuff that you come back to, some things that you're already comfortable with. So I think some of that, frankly, be concept based. But I think as we go on, more and more of it, get more comfortable with the newer stuff.